Hello everybody and welcome back to the wonderful world of Black Ice. I'm Count Christo, thank you for joining me. They said it wasn't coming back. They said Christo's cancelled another series. They were wrong. So we're here playing Black Ice again as Germany. There's been a number of updates to the game since... Ooh. Middle mouse click's going very strange again. Since we last played, so I decided to just redo things. Bring the UI back. I don't know why the middle mouse click sometimes does this. Anyhow, there's been a number of updates since when the last we spoke in Black Ice, so I've decided to just redo things. Our French campaign was rather underwhelming in the original campaign because I waited far too long before declaring, and it was all a bit disappointing really because the French didn't put up a proper fight. So this campaign we're going to hope to avoid that. In case you're not familiar with Black Ice, firstly, I strongly recommend you start at the beginning of the series. The playlist is in the description of this video. It's a great mod. It's a fantastic... I really enjoy it. There's some things that I don't like, and I will say when I don't like them. But there's lots of things that I do like. It's a mod that adds huge amounts of complexity to our production, to technology, to politics, to all kinds of things. It's very much worth checking it out from the beginning of the series, where I go through things in a more in-depth way. In this video, I'm not really going to go through mechanics and how mechanics work, except as and when they arise. I'm not going to explain everything. The middle mouse click appears to have fixed itself now a bit. You see what I mean? It's kind of over moving it. Notice how the place I click ends up to the right of where my middle mouse button is. Anyway, just to explain why this looks a bit weird. There's a setting in Black Ice to help speed up the game, where Ecuador annexes all of South America, apart from these bits, and where the Raj annexes Bhutan and Nepal. Just having less countries in the game helps speed things along. Oi. I don't know what's up with my middle mouse. I may have to restart between this episode and the next. I'll have to try and use edge scrolling. God, I feel like a plebeian. Alright. It's really hard to control. Okay, so we stand on the cusp of war with the Allies. Danziger War is very nearly done. By the way, there is not a VOD of what I did to do up to this point. I'm afraid that is lost to the midst of time. I assure you I didn't cheat, apart from turning the UI on and off for the purposes of that intro. We have been doing a long war in China. The Japanese at one point controlled all of this region here, and we drove them back with our glorious tank divisions. It looks like they're just beginning to re-invade in the south. I haven't been paying as much attention over here as I had. Let's have our tanks just retreat to some port or other. Come down here. Which port is this? In Guangzhou. I don't know that one. It's not Hong Kong, is it? No, that's Hong Kong. In anticipation of their imminent recalling to the Reich, we have done all kinds of things to our politics recently. We've set up basic bonds. We've mobilized the troops. We've instituted a draft. We've instituted elite standards and elite officer training. We have lots of good stuff. We've mobilized the economy. War support is badly handled in Black Ice at the moment. You lose it whenever you're not at war at a base rate of 0.8, which is absurd. That means even if you have state press, which is the highest press war support gain you can get, and you take preliminary war propaganda, you still lose war support every day, which is every week, which is a bit... I mean, that just seems dumb, doesn't it? Like, we permanently have had 5 war support the whole time, which meant, until very recently, I've been on civilian economy. Because if you go to even early mobilization, you get strikes. Because you don't have enough war support. Anyhow, Mountjoy-Ribbentrop Pact signed. Troops organized. I've decided to start trying to use standardized unit icons. This is a defensive theatre icon. This is an offensive unit icon. This is a tank theatre icon. I'm going to try and stay consistent on that in future, just to make it easier for me. We have a relatively large garrison at the French border, consisted of our infantry. Let's take a look at our templates. Here is the infantry battalion. Pretty standard. I did add in some heavy artillery. If you're not familiar, 30 is the magic number in Black Ice. We have quite a bit of artillery in here, and we do have some anti-tank. This is partly an anticipation based off many of your helpful comments in previous episodes that the Soviets are going to come at us with stupid numbers of tanks. So we are going to put some decent anti-tank in them. We have just gotten rid of our last version of that. Here is the Panzer template. It's pretty simple. You'll pardon me for it being quite so simplistic. It's all Panzer IVs, and after about 1 million comments on the topic, I did eventually find this tech. Which means that your Panzer battalions no longer mix light and medium tanks. Huzzah! So we have that. So our Panzer battalions are pure Panzer IVs. That's the only tank we have fielded right now. We can't convert other tanks to Panzer IVs, unfortunately. So we will probably just delete the other tanks. We may, I mean, we only have like 300 of them. I don't think it's worth deploying a like tiny little battalion of tanks and then wearing them out. I think we'll probably just delete them. In fact, you know what? I'll do that now. We don't need this equipment. And some light tanks and some, what are these? Czech-built tanks. Yeah, just delete them. It's not worth the hassle, I don't think. I mean, it's a waste, but yeah, there you go. We have a very, very meager garrison on the Benelux border, just in case they join the Allies before we're ready for them. In the air, we're a bit undersupplied. I do have a reason. Well, I think I only have like 20 factories. Yeah, we only have 20 factories on planes right now, which is not enough. Again, I've been really struggling because of the darn civilian economy. We've been building lots of civilian factories. That does mean we're in a position now. We've got 145 civilian factories, which is pretty good. Generally starts with crazy military factories, but not crazy civilian factories. So we're going to hard shift now onto building military factories. These should be prioritized because they're very high infrastructure. Let's just bump those like so. Good. We are building some oil in Brandenburg, some synthetic refineries. That won't be necessary though, because we are going to, well, not totally necessary. We are going to blitz. Once we kill Poland, we're probably going to blitz the Balkans and take the oil down in Mauritania. Monetia. I don't know. Someone was telling me I'm pronouncing this place wrong. Like Mauritania, somewhere different entirely. Muntenia, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, the oil fields down in Romania. What else do you need filling in on? Not sure, really. The only other thing I wanted to look at is before we end this war. So we've been here in just the last 12 months in China. Bear in mind, I've had these troops in China for 2 years. So almost double this. Look how much freaking Japanese equipment we've destroyed. Only 100 light tanks. Some trucks. Quite a lot of platoon transport vehicles. 14,000 cavalry equipment. 6,000 heavy machine gun teams. And 66,000 infantry equipment. We've done a lot of damage with our 2 divisions over there. We ourselves have lost only about 100, what is that, 85 Panzer IVs. More Panzer IIs and Panzer Is were lost, but yeah. It was a good time, had fun in China. But this time you don't have to live through it. Okay, on the actual front, we're pretty limited in our Panzer deployment. Guderian here, who has some experience from having worked over in China. He's moving up. I think he started at level 4. Has leveled up. We've given him Panzer Expert. He's also a Blitzkrieg master, so he's pretty good. He's going to lead the charge through straight into Bomberg, I think, and then charge down here, meeting up with troops from Kolberg and what's this area called? Silesia. We're going to have people coming down from Ostpreußen and Silesia, meeting up around here, pocketing all of this area in 2 separate pockets. Then we'll move on to Warsaw, Krakow, and capitulate Poland. Sounds like a plan. We have no template for artillery truck transport. What? How can we not have an artillery truck transport template? That's ridiculous. Does our infantry not use them? So this is the only this is one of the, well, you could see it as a downside. You could choose to see it as an upside. Oh no, we only use artillery truck transports apparently when we have motorized artillery battalions. They're only used for this, artillery truck. Okay. They're just towed when they're support or line, but not motorized. Well, we can have 2 of these for everyone. Let's look. Do we want to put some of these into motorized? The problem is they're slow. These motorized can move around, sorry, mechanized, can move around at 10.9 kilometers per hour, which is ridiculous. The other thing about our Panzer battalions, I've gone hard on recon. We've got recon, 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 recon. So these guys, if we take a look at them, go at 6 miles an hour? That doesn't sound right. Oh, the Panzer battalions actually have a max speed of 6.1. I thought it was higher than that. But yeah, so then you see with all the multipliers, we can get them up to 9.3. And if they weren't in a low infrastructure area, they'd be able to go even faster. So we're going to have very, very fast tank battalions. Okay, enough chatting. Let's get this war done. So as soon as the war starts, we're going to want to try and do some maybe wartime domestic loans. I think those are pretty good. Get that military stuff up. We can afford to lose some stability. We're well in the positive on stability. Although, Bessarabia ceded to the Soviet Union. Although, we're going to lose, what, 30? Well, I don't know how much stability we're going to lose when we go to war. We will find out. No speech is prepared. Continue without a speech. Air force size has gone up to average. A solution for Danzig. Okay. Danzig, one of our most pressing concerns. Danzig and the Polish corridor are quite vital to restoring the rightful borders of Germany. So on, so on. Danzig or war. Gimme. And next focus. We could go immediately around the Maginot. I think this will be bypassed, and we can immediately do around the Maginot. For a 29-day justification. Not really entirely needed, considering we could just justify quicker than this, so that it might cost less political power to do it via focus. I would like to get some more artillery bonuses. This is quite good. I want to get this Panzer factory at some point. Yeah, the Luftwaffe itself loses some abilities, apparently, if you have them field divisions. So I don't think we're going to do that. What do we want to do? Well, we wait for war to get declared, and then we can do the military industry plan. Sorry. Then it is war. Do I have a war goal? No, it's going to auto-declare for me in a second, I think. And they're all immediately leaving the front. Clearly, they're panicking. Poland refuses. They know full well what the alternative is. There we go. 0 war support, of course, because it's an offensive war. Oh, man. Decisions available. Okay, we fight united, which gives us some weekly war support for a little while. Justify our war, more war support, less political power, less stability. We can requisition stuff. Oh, cool, so you do that through decisions rather than through focuses now. That's a good way to handle it. This won't be a problem, because as soon as we're at war, the demobilized economy thing goes away. Don't need to worry about political actions in appropriate land. We don't need to do that right now, so let's not worry about those. So I guess we're going to do this kind of over and over for a bit to try and raise war support. But it's still going down by 0.8 per month every freaking week, which is ridiculous. This would obviously we can't do this once every 45 days. We don't produce nearly enough political power. Actually, we actually could. Interesting. All right, let's do the military industry plan. Get some more factories, and let's launch the offensive. The planes are already in position. First battle of the war will be a glorious tank victory here. Let's slow it down, try and be efficient. We're still not going to let anyone into our faction. Decisions available? Yeah, we can toggle these off for now. Anything else I want to change in here? We only have 2% of our core population eligible right now. I think we should go up to a 3-year draft. Which is going to hurt our factory output slightly, but it didn't change from 2%. What? Color me confused. Maybe we should increase the bracket as well. Go 18 to 35. Still didn't change? What? I don't understand. So there's France joining in. Look at that. Immediate destruction of these tanks. By those tanks, I guess I should say. These mechanized are training up. These guys aren't full of tanks yet, so I don't think I'm going to deploy them. We're probably going to see those guys first see action in the French campaign. Alright, let's begin pushing south from Königsberg. I don't think we need to push in here, but we might as well, really. Let's have a bit of a push in here and here. We'll see if we can get a little pocket done here. And yes, I wanted... Actually, no, don't push that way. We're going to want a bit of a push up here to meet the tanks here. Alright. Obviously, shouldn't really face any serious opposition in Poland. I'd be very surprised if they put up any fight at all, really. Because they're... How many factories they have, even? They do have 37 military factories. Oh, that's what I've forgotten to do. We don't have any... what are they called? Military police. So, you're going to need a stab. Where's the stab thing gone? Division stab. And then I think we'll just go with what, garrison maybe? He's 1.2 suppression for... Oh, that's for garrison equipment, though I don't have any garrison equipment. We'll probably just go with cavalry. They do have much higher suppression for the same amount of manpower. And I suspect manpower might actually be our limiting factor for quite a while. Right, the tanks have moved in. Good. Immediate continuing of the tank push. You can just rush in there. Let's delete the tank order, just so they don't do anything funky. These guys coming in here. Good. What is this song? This is whatever it's called. Panzerlides, yeah. Not a fan of that one. Okay, keep on coming in here. Our panzers, they're stupid fast. Not when we cross rivers, that's true. But generally speaking, they're going to be insanely speedy, these panzers. Look at the amount of... There we go. We can even overrun retreating troops. They're so fast. Allies haven't deployed air power over us yet. We do have a certain amount of anti-air from focuses, so that's good. It's not that expensive either, so we could build some more if we wanted it. Quick pocket at Poznan. Let's just wipe them out. Like so. Burma has been called in. Oh no. Can't say I'm quaking in my boots at the prospect of having to fight Burma. Push from the south going well. Might as well push up here. Maybe we can get a sneak attack on Krakow. You can go east. A bit more. Another overrun. Just keep... Yeah, the tank push is fairly unstoppable at the moment. Just overrunning everything in their path. Obviously now they're into urban terrain. They're going to suffer more of a disadvantage. But, right. Free military factories. I would like more tanks. Like a lot more tanks. And more planes. Everything else, as you can see, we're well in the positives on. Manpower is actually the shortage. Tunisia has joined France. Again, not devastated by the prospect of having to fight Tunisia. We do have a lot of outdated planes. My plan is we're essentially not going to... We're just going to use them in this initial push through Poland and the Balkans, and then never use them again. We're going to use them for this, and then we'll get rid of them. We'll decommission them. I wish I could convert them into the new fighters, but sadly, that's not something that we can do. Just launch some extra attacks here. We might as well win a bunch of extra attacks. Okay, good. We can design the cavalry division. Right. Now get training some of these. This is MP1. MP. Well, just MP will do. Cool. We're going to need a bunch of those. So yeah, manpower is going to be an issue. Might have to change some more laws to get some more manpower in on our side. What happened to my political power? Oh, that's right. We changed the draft. Alright, keep pushing east. Get to Brest-Litovsk. Brest-Litovsk, sorry. I always refer to it as Brest-Litovsk, but Brest-Litovsk is actually, it has nothing to do with this place. It's just the name of the foreign ministers. Alright, let's keep going in there. Good. Danzig pocketed. Might as well just close that. Mostly just for the XP, to be honest, at this point. I do like the crazy speed tank pushes you can get going in Black Ice. They are fun. Again, same reasoning. Launch some attacks here. Good. Good. We can attack straight into the mountains and crush them. That's indicative of a dominant position, I think. How close is Poland to capitulation? 80%. They're very stable. So this isn't so much a VP rush as just a rush. Just crushing in. We are now cripplingly low on oil. Not surprising. The Ecuadorian imports are becoming a little more challenging. Rubber also rather problematic. It's almost tempting to not declare war on the Netherlands in order to preserve our oil imports from the Dutch East Indies, but I think Allied naval power would put an end to that pretty soon anyway. Of course, because the mechanic of how this game works, the anti-tank rifles are the very devastating shortage. Yeah, I suppose we should be... we are currently researching improved oil plants, which let us build synthetic rubber refineries, and once we get those, rest assured, I will build a number of them. a little bit low on heavy artillery. We would just keep going in here. Honestly, now maybe we could VP rush. But they can't oppose these tanks. Oh, they are managing to stop us here, though. Send in some reinforcements from the north. Great. Win victory over Danzig? Yes, good. Danzig's just about to fall. My plan, by the way, in the last episode, in the last kind of iteration of the series, I guess this is number 3 now, I think. We didn't have a comprehensive naval plan. This time I do. I haven't really put it into force much, but we are building subs. We haven't got very many of them right now, but we do have a certain number of subs. He's a Seawolf and a Seasoned Seawolf. What more could you want? So let's experiment. Let's try doing some stuff around the northern approaches in Sealand and Shetland. Finland regrets the Soviet demands. Let's see how well those Bolsheviks do. Of course, we're going to get convoy raided to all heck. We've got 1,000 convoys right now. Hopefully, we'll be able to become... What's the German term for desiring to be self-sufficient in terms of resources? Because of the G, I think. Can't remember. We do want to become self-sufficient, though, which is part of the reason why we'll be annexing Romania and Hungary. Right, hold that tight. No point wasting lives attacking into the mountains. Keep it going. Can we cross this river? We can. Alright, keep going to Luo. I know it's not pronounced Luo, but it looks so much like it is. We don't desperately need another whole round of infantry. Let's cancel some of these temporarily to give us the manpower to field some military police. Alright, keep the push going. The planes should really be redeployed, but I really don't think it matters much. That we will win this is already a foregone conclusion, as honestly it pretty much always was. But sure, just to speed things along slightly. So last time, the mistake we made in terms of enjoyability of the campaign was we waited far too long to attack France. So we're going to attack France a lot earlier. It's going to be a spring invasion. We're going to attack in about March, I think. Hopefully I'll have these panzers by then. I would say it was unlikely. Our Panzer 4 deficit is 200 days long at the moment. Did we fail to take Luo? We did, okay. Excuse me, halt. You hear me pressing the freaking button. Oh, they're under attack, that's okay. Should be able to win the defense. These guys can circle back round and then assist in Luo. And these tanks have got these guys pocketed. Nice. We'll check out the casualties and things after the war. But obviously, ooh, actually got myself pocketed. Not the smartest thing I've ever done. Moving up here. Great. I imagine the Polish casualties will be significant. We've pulled off a couple of pockets that we've subsequently crushed in on. Okay. Looking pretty good so far. Yep, still coming in here. Let's move to encircle what I will persist in calling Luo. Might as well take the capital. I do want to just, I don't know, finish them off down here though. The XP, man! We need the army XP. I'm going to grow the this ever so slightly. So there we go. 5 suppression. No, 5 suppression's a bad number. Yeah, no, we should just stay down at 2 suppression. There is military police you can put into the division, I think. Yeah. Gives a 50% bonus. That's not a good amount, though. Well, that might bring it to 4. No, it's still not 4. You want it to be a multiple of 2. So let's just go with 2.4 and pretend it's 2. Reinforce here. This tank's obviously having a bit of trouble crossing that river. Alright, with Wilano falling and Luo falling, surely they're ready to capitulate. Total collapse of the Polish army there. There we go. Poland has capitulated. Giving us access to a bunch of stuff. We will continue. Alright, just disable the darn motivational speeches. We have a small navy size. Okay, I guess this didn't go well. Yeah. The second we left port, a bunch of our ships got sunk. And we did sink some cruisers. We have 6 left. Yeah, well. Some exist to sink, so. Alright, Conquest of Poland completed. Let's check out the casualties. We took 9,000 casualties. Poland took 498,000. Outrageous. Really high casualties. Still no offensive, not even a minor offensive into the Saarland. But we didn't actually complete most of the west wall. We only have level 3s and 4s and some 2s on this front. I deemed it unnecessary to complete the west wall, given the lack of a particular spirit for attack amongst the French. Let's... Okay, they are now trying to bomb us over central Germany. Let's move some planes to attempt to discourage such activity. Up here, lots and lots of fighters, but we don't need to engage their fighters, so that shouldn't be a big problem. Now, we're going to get some of these armies. Rommel's army is going to take Western Hungary. And we'll have Walter take Eastern Hungary. And yes, we are going to go to war immediately against Hungary. There will be a tank push across here. There can be only one, I'm afraid. So even though Hungary permanently disable them. Yes, permanently disable. Low trade influence because we conquered Poland. So we're now desperately low on oil, which will ramp up our imports from Romania in the very short term. And desperately low on rubber. We can import them from Siam. We could get a little from the Soviet Union. Some tungsten, which we'll get from Sweden. Awesome. We could take a decision. War propaganda against the Soviet Union. See, there we go. That's more doable. 90 days weekly war support +1. I think we will do. We will do that. But our war support, I mean, yeah, enemy bombing is ticking it down. So that's not great. World tension is increasing it, so if we can get world tension a bit higher, that'll be good. We're low, as you can see, on fighters. So we'll try and position them to best effect we can. We do need some... Ooh, there is actually an offensive that we're losing here. Will we actually lose it? I'm not sure. But in response, just in case, the tertiary Polish army under Manstein is going to get reassigned to assist in the defense of West Wall. And let's have them strategically redeploy over here. Okay. They didn't like me bad-mouthing them. Interesting. No leader on the Kingdom of Hungary. Sweden has been terminated due to low trade influence. Yes, fair enough. Romania, give me all you got. I'm going to take it very soon, but well, that's what I should do here. Let's get some close air support operating over Western Germany. The Junkers are our primary close air support plane that we'll be using. We'd also like some air support over Hungary. Now, I don't know if Hungary is going to join the Allies here. They are technically still a monarchist rather than fascist nation, so they might well join the Allies. But with the completion of the conquest of Poland, I'm going to call it a part there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. In the next episode, we shall decimate Hungary, Romania, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, and quite possibly Greece. And then we shall put ourselves in a position to begin the French campaign. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.